Hey, book lovers, welcome back to Shelf Addiction, the podcast where we dive deep into the pages of thriller and fantasy reads. I'm your host, Tamara, and today we are discussing our July Buddy Read title. But first, a quick heads up, if you crave the full visual experience and want to ditch the ads, head on over to Patreon. You'll unlock ad-free video episodes, exclusive after shows, and tons of bonus content. If you prefer audio only, Spreaker listeners, you too have access. After shows and exclusives are available right there as well. If you want even more bookish banter, join our community over on the Book Club's app. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening. Speaking of community, I am thrilled to welcome back my fabulous thriller mystery co-host and friend, Classy from the Bookish Virtual Assistant. Welcome back, Classy.
Hey, Tamara, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
The links to find both of us on our socials are in the show notes, so click around, do all the things. We appreciate you for doing that. As always with book chats, we talk full spoilers here, so spoiler alert, you've been warned. Today we are discussing The Ghostwriter, written by Julie Clark. The audiobook is narrated by Ellen Archer, KB Score, and Josh Hurley. Published June 3rd, 2025 by Source Books and Audible Studios. The hardcover is 328 pages. The unabridged audio is 10 hours and 18 minutes. Classy, would you kindly share the synopsis?
Yes. June 1975. The Taylor family shatters in a single night when two teenage siblings are found dead in their own home. The only surviving sibling, Vincent, never shakes the whispers and accusations that he was the one who killed them. Decades later, the legend only grows as his career as a horror writer skyrockets. Ghostwriter Olivia Dumont has spent her entire professional life hiding the fact that she is the only child of Vincent Taylor. Now on the brink of financial ruin, she's offered a job to ghostwrite her father's last book. What she doesn't know, though, is that this project is another one of his lies, because it's not another horror novel he wants her to write. After 50 years of silence, Vincent Taylor is finally ready to talk about what really happened that night in 1975. Good synopsis.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's kick things off with our high-level 2 cents. What'd you think?
I thought it was a good story. I like the way Julie tells the story. I did figure out who the killer was early on.
Yeah, me too.
But it did not stop me from wanting to hear how Julie weaved this story.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thought it was a very good story, a very good mystery with a lot of secrets, and I almost wanted to say, I wish. What book did we read last month?
Parents' Weekend?
Yes, I kind of wished. Oh God, his name just Andrew Finley.
Alex
Oh
Finley?
God, girl, see. I almost wish like Alex would have did a little bit with his story, how Julie did this story.
Okay.
And I don't want to delve too much into it because I have to kind of go back and think about Alex's story. But I felt like, see, this is how a story should be told if you're going to go, and she didn't have a lot of characters, but it was just something about the story. I like the way she tells a story.
Right.
Like you said, even though we knew who killed, and an audience, it wasn't a fact that she reveals it to us. I think just Tamara and I, just from context clues and little statements, we probably figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't ruin it for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there was still the how, right? We still had to figure out the how, which was revealed at the end. Yeah, and the why. So,
yeah,
and I actually kind of figured, I figured the why a little early too, but
yes.
we have a brain set where we're looking for it. So.
I know. And that's the other thing. It's like, sometimes I got to like turn that off because it's like, just enjoy the book. But then like when you're doing these podcasts and you got to, kind of talk about these things, it's like, but I also got to pay attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to turn your brain off of, wait a minute, just enjoy the book.
Investigative mode. Yeah.
Just enjoy the book.
So I also pretty much enjoyed the book. I think, though, the pacing was a little inconsistent. Some parts were much faster than others. So it'd be like
Hmm.
we're going at a good clip and then things would just slow all the way down. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the amount of details or the pacing of how she chose to disclose the little bits of information. I'm not sure what messed with the pacing exactly, but when it got to like the back end of the book, it was really I was just really excited for the reveal, right? So I
Hmm.
think that it
Yeah.
kept it moving because I was like, come on, tell me, tell me. Am I right?
Yes.
Am I right? What happened?
Yeah.
And actually, I think that the story was actually a little sad. At the end, I kind of was like, oh, dang, that's sad.
It was.
Yeah.
It really was. It was a sad story. But yeah, I felt the same way with the pacing. It was like that middle piece, like the reveal of her dad and his illness and his memory, all that was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then it like that little middle piece, it's like, okay. It was a nice
Hmm.
little lull there. And I think, especially and it wasn't done a lot. Like when she would visit her her classmate, was it Jack or whatever, like those little
Hmm.
pieces. And I was like, was those fillers? I wasn't sure. Um, yeah, but
Well, the
there were some.
classmate made sense.
It did.
You know who I could have done without? I could have
Tom?
done without Tom.
You were gonna say that.
I don't give a F about Tom.
Oh yes, but yeah, but Jack did had reason. But everybody needs somebody in their life. Cause,
Tom is a baby. Go somewhere. Go somewhere. Put your big dude draws on,
but
sir.
he told her
I'm
from the
sorry.
beginning in the relationship that
Look,
lying was a
I
no,
know. I
was
know.
a.
So at first, I got to be honest. At first, I was like, oh, look at somebody having some kind of moral ground and standing on it. Okay, I kind of can see it. But, we all know that this guy isn't perfect and he needs to get off his high horse.
That part.
I'm sure he act like he is she
He acted
he's
like
the
she cheated
prize.
on her.
Yes, and he is the prize and how dare you. And for some reason the way he did that just total was a total turn off. Like I understand being mad, but you gonna like block her basically? You gonna ignore her like you trying to punish her? Is that what we're doing?
Without
I did not
hearing the
like
full reasoning for the lie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not like how the author wrote Tom because even though they managed to get it together in the end, I was still like, you know what?
Why you
Bunk
take him
Tom. I
back?
don't give AF. I don't give
Now
AF.
that part I was like, I didn't care if they got together or not at the end. I really didn't.
Mm-hmm.
All I
Me
wanted for
neither.
her was to get out of that financial bind. That was it that I wanted for her. But yeah, I didn't care
Yeah.
if her and Tom got back. I wasn't like, ooh, a happily ever after. I didn't care about an HEA. Not at all.
No.
No.
Kick rocks, Tom. Go play in traffic, Tom.
Get
I'm
little,
just saying.
Tom.
Exactly.
Get little is like how when you look in your rearview mirror and you keep driving and you in that reflection they get smaller and smaller. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, get little.
Yeah.
um
That's him.
but no, but yeah, I did, but Jack was important, but I did feel like there was some little fillers, not a lot, but the pacing was inconsistent. But then you think about it too, like,
Mhm.
how much could she continue at that nice clip with this story too? Because she had to do research. She was balked at, like there were certain things that
Mhm.
she had to cover up her lies. So, like
Right.
with so that pacing, I get it, because she can't go at such a fast pace and keep that up with writing this story, her dad and his fits of anger. due to his illness. Trying to
Mm-hmm.
find, trying to get information from him. Um, so yeah, and yeah, so I get it, but yes, I agree.
So there were a lot of things I did like about the book. So the ending was good. I like a strong ending that doesn't necessarily have a happily ever after, especially when you're dealing with so many lies and murder and deceit. You're
Hmm.
not really going to get that exactly. You want to feel some vindication for the main character, and I do feel like she got that with that awful, dreadful guy that sued her.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I felt that Olivia ended up in a good place, and I was happy for that. So, and I also liked how the author went to 1975 because those segments really pulled the story together because her father was an unreliable narrator and he was on purpose, which
Hmm.
was annoying. You playing
Hmm.
games with your own daughter.
Yes.
Um,
Well, he was playing scavenger hunt, and that's what really got me. I was like, "Wait a minute!" When he kept saying he did it with her, and I was like, "Fuck!" He also did it with Poppy.
mhm.
Yeah.
He likes to he's an unusual character. He's an unusual
Oh yeah.
person. Um,
He was socially
yeah,
awkward.
he
Very.
was. And you could tell from how, and I guess also the flashbacks help us understand how his family dynamics were, which kind of created him to be socially awkward. He didn't have a great relationship with his brother. His mother
Hmm.
was an alcoholic. His father was just like, I don't know. He just kind of let the kids
He was a
just be kids, I
1970s
guess.
daddy. That's what he was.
Yeah.
He was a 70s father.
Yeah.
I went to work. I paid the bills. Beat it, twerk.
Came home. Yeah. Came home. Where's my drink?
Where's my dinner?
Yeah, those kids, they did not get along very well. The brothers, I've never had brothers, so I think if I was Poppy, I don't know, I'll be trying to bang those brothers on top of the head with a pot or something. I'll be trying
Yeah.
to beat them up constantly. Y'all not gonna like constantly threaten my life on a regular basis. What is this?
Girl,
We're
Poppy was
siblings.
fighting
We're
for her
children.
life. She was fighting for her life in that house.
She was. I'm like, these brothers, I'm like, are they actually gonna like do something to her or what? Because they were very mean to her and they were very violent toward her at times, like enough where she felt like, oh my God, I have to hide this or he's gonna kill me,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. But
And she was not kidding.
no. And back then, they didn't respect girls as they do now. It was basically even her mother, oh, a woman should be seen and not heard. What are you doing all this pro woman stuff? And, you just
Yeah.
need to, basically marry and have children is the thought of that time. So it seemed like Vince did have a little, it's like there were moments she described where she did like them. There were moments that she saw little subtleties of they're good, but these are some badass boys. Like they were mischief. But there were little moments that she did enjoy her brothers, like she
Hmm.
did like the scavenger hunt, that she saw the soft sides of them, the lovable
Right.
sides, but she also knew that underneath all that too was some violent tendencies. But it
Yeah.
was that unreliable narrator. um that was, I loved how she did that. If I want to go back to Julie's writing, I love sh- how she wrote the unreliable narrator. She did that with Vince and also with the reels from Poppy,
Hmm.
because she wouldn't reveal everything to us through the lens of Poppy. There was just, she would just drop little little hints. So you weren't sure for a while who.
Well, that was it was very smart how she did that. The reels didn't have audio
Mhm.
until the last one.
Yeah.
So every time Olivia would see something, obviously she's like, this is not what he said happened.
Right.
But you still have no context. You don't know exactly when this was.
Mhm.
You don't know a lot of things. So she's just working off her worst assumptions about her father.
Mhm. Yeah. But even when the story was told from Poppy's end is what I'm
Mhm.
saying, even from Poppy, when Poppy's chapters would come in and she would say, um, different comments. There were times where you weren't sure if she was referring to Danny or Vincent until she, maybe like the next chapter. Or she would just, she's like, yeah, I followed them and then this, and that. And you wouldn't know. And that was that suspense portion where she would have you on the edge, like, who? Which brother is she
Breadcrumb.
following?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I really liked how she did the unreliable, how she did it from Poppy's end. And I won't say unreliable. Maybe that's the wrong term to say. But maybe unreliable from the Lynn's part. But like when Poppy told her story, she didn't reveal everything or which character or which brother it was until, maybe like the next chapter, at the end of the next chapter. But she would leave us with a cliffhanger every once in a while.
Yeah. And ultimately, the author left something for just the reader.
Hmm.
Like Poppy told us stuff that
Yeah.
Vince and Olivia never knew. They made
I
some
love
assumptions.
that.
I thought that
Yes.
was very
Oh,
unique.
that was so clever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
Mhm.
wow. So we're like looking
From the
through
dead.
from the dead. Yes, a ghost is telling the story.
Yeah, 2 chapters. She gave us
Yeah.
2 chapters of that. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that. I thought I was like, "Nice
Yeah.
job, Julie. Nice job."
That was really good. I liked
Mhm.
that. And I did like that the Vince and Olivia, they made some solid and correct assumptions
Mhm.
based on just when they finally were able to, like when Vince was able to stave off his sickness long enough, and when Olivia was finally able to just say, "Look, Dad, this is what I found. Let's look at this. What happened here?" And it kind of just unlocked, the floodgates opened,
Mhm.
and everything that was blocked kind of just came out. And they, by
Yeah.
working together while he
Yeah.
was, during his well moments, they were able to figure out what they think happened,
Yeah.
because we find out that he didn't really know what happened.
Yeah. He disassociated.
Well, he was knocked out after his
Well,
brother
that part
knocked his
too.
ass
That's
out.
true.
He
I
woke
forgot.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was dead. And he
Yeah.
grabbed the knife and ran out the house. I'm like, what the hell? Who does that? A teenager, I guess.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really unique. The way she did that, I thought that was very special. And I thought it worked out great. I felt
Yeah.
really bad for Poppy and Jimmy and Vince. I'm like, that's horrible.
Yeah. Right, because the first chapter when she revealed to us, it was just like, "Did Danny do this?" That's
Yeah,
how I was like, I was listening, like, this I'm in the car, right, coming back from the gym, and I'm like,
Danny. Yeah.
yeah, it was like, "Did Danny stab her? Oh my god."
It seemed like it at first. It
It
seemed like it.
did.
It seemed like it.
It did, and then, yeah, I like you said, I loved how she did that. She did bravo. And, like, that's how you end a damn book.
Although, like we said, we guessed. So
Mhm.
even though the author Julie Clark had to get us there, I knew the minute Poppy said she caught something on tape in the woods with Danny, I said, oh no, that fucking teacher, he likes boys. I knew it immediately. I didn't have to hear or see anything. I'm like, oh shit. The way he reacted, I said, oh, that is exactly what that is.
Yeah, he's got busted, yeah. And it
Yeah.
wasn't you got busted with a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was shame. It wasn't, yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah. But,
But that made me think that maybe like Danny poking at Vince the whole time about his girlfriend, about his future wife, you know?
Mhm.
I said, "Is he trying to get Vince to go over there and pound that man's face in?" I'm like, "Is he trying to goat him
Oh,
into doing something to that man
because he
because
know he has
he's
a
too
violent
chicken
t
to do it?" Right.
and he has violent tendencies, yeah.
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 Because why
Now,
else would he be saying, "Oh, whoever
whoever
takes her to
takes
get the procedure must be the daddy"? Why would he do that other than he's trying to goat him into running over there and pounding that guy's face into the ground?
yeah. But he wasn't sure if the guy did or did not, impregnate, Lydia because, he just didn't know. All he knew is that the teacher was taking kids to the shed. So he doesn't know. Maybe he possibly did think, um, Lydia was a victim too.
Who thought that? Danny thought that?
Yeah. I don't think Danny didn't know he was the father of Lydia's baby. He knew he had sex with her, but he didn't know he was the father.
Well, yeah, he didn't know that for sure,
Yeah.
but I guess I would not assume that Danny thought that she was a victim of the teacher because he knew what was going on in the shed. Danny knew.
Yeah.
He knew what was going on those boys' trips out in the woods.
True. Yeah.
Danny knew what kind of person he liked.
Mhm. True.
So I don't think he really thought. I can't even think of the mother's name right now. Was it Lydia?
Yeah. Lydia.
Lydia. Okay, so I don't think he even thought Lydia had anything to do with that teacher. He just, other than him helping her. That's why I wondered, like, is he really just trying to manipulate his brother into beating that guy up?
Mm. Okay. I never thought of it that way. Never thought of it that way. I just thought of, hey, he was a super nice teacher and he could have did both ways. Who
Well, at the
knows?
beginning, when she was hanging out with the teacher, getting all the I said, something's off with that. First
Mhm.
off, what instructor, what teacher is going to take someone to have a procedure done, even in the 70s? You're supposed to stay away from that.
Yeah. But
Especially you're a man. You're not even a woman. You're not a woman helping a woman. You're just some dude.
yeah. But he liked her because of her ability. Like he knew she had a strong, like she liked track. I think he took a genuine liking to her. Possibly getting a scholarship. Like she said, he knew my mom was not a good mom.
Right.
So I have seen some teachers who have gone overboard or cross that line, and not to say cross the line like with the student, but like you shouldn't do that. I know you have a good heart, but you need to back up off this right here, or you can, or it's going to get
You're
misconstrued.
going to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, and it did. She wind up did. I mean, there was no allegations, but she was pulled in and was reprimanded for like, I know what you're doing is great, but how it looks is not great. But I think that's what I think he took a genuine liking to her. He was a coach. He saw her potential. Having a baby at that age would ruin her opportunities to go to college. And I think he genuinely was just looking out for her. Yes, you shouldn't have done it, but
I don't know. I think two things can be true in this case. I do think he did want to help her, but
mhm.
he was also serving alcohol to minors.
That
He
too.
was
But
out
that
there
was
in the
so
woods with these
common.
boys. He
Well,
was,
well, I could say that was common too, but yeah, serving alcohol, girl, they did that. Yeah, that was not uncommon.
I don't know. It just seems like he wasn't a good
But
person.
yeah, he was grooming. He was
Mhm.
basically grooming. When you have parties like that where you're just leaving liquor out there for kids, you're grooming them because you're
Mhm.
trying. I'm cool. Why don't you just hang out with me?
Mhm.
Have a couple of beers and different
He's
things
hiding
like
in
that.
plain sight
Hmm.
because he'd have all the girls like, "Oh, he's so nice. Oh, he's so
And
cute."
it's cute.
Right. So he was kind of hiding in plain sight.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
he didn't seem like a weirdo by
Nope.
taking the boys out for a,
Little boy
boys weekend in
scouting.
the woods. Yeah, let's
Right.
learn some mannish stuff
Some
in the woods.
manly stuff. But I do remember something in the beginning of the story where they were saying, these courses that he was taking, and then I think Vince, or I can't remember who said it, and then he kind of changed, you know, or maybe that was just my assumption as reading the story where Danny was taking these classes and he was like, yeah, you should take these classes. And then all of a sudden he stopped or he didn't want to do them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But and like I said, I can't remember if Julie said this in the story or it was just something as a reader, as you're listening, you see where Danny had changed.
Right.
Or or was it the imagery that Vince had given us that Danny had changed?
So I think the one bit of information that was missing, unless I just missed it, is I don't have a clear understanding how long that was going on with Danny and the teacher because, that happened when he was taking that class. Was that just 2 years ago, 1 year ago? How long has this been going on? And then when the man moved next door, that was like the final straw. Like,
Yeah.
that was it. Like, the man's next door to me now. And
Mhm.
he was 1 year older. And I want to say, so he might have been a senior in high school at that point.
Yeah, he was 17 when he died,
So,
so
yeah. So I'm thinking, was that junior year, sophomore year? How long was that going on
right.
before he started showing his ass by, setting sheds on fire and, writing, what do you call it?
Oh, I think it was the 75, right? Wasn't that 1975? Because when we go
75 is when the tip over happened. That was the year that the kids died, but we don't know how long.
remember when Poppy and Margot were talking about I think she wrote it in her diary. It was like because it started, I think, in March, right? One of her first reels or something was labeled March. And then she would write in her diary because I remember um, Olivia was trying to match the reels up with the diary entries. And she had mentioned
Okay,
why,
so let's see. I'm looking through now. So there's nothing before 75. That is the oldest period.
right.
So you're
Yeah.
saying that all of this happened to Danny in 1975 from beginning to end?
Well, I know the like the burning of the sheds and the slicing of the balls and stuff like that. I
Mhm.
believe that happened within that year's time. But like you're saying, some of this stuff may have occurred beforehand, maybe like the year or two before, because he didn't get by the house until I'm thinking like 75.
75 is when he
Right.
moved over there.
Right. But like the fires and all that happened during that time. So I like you're saying, he may have done something to him prior to the
Mhm.
year before, but we don't catch
We
we're
don't
not
know.
giving right, we're not given information of Danny's we're given information of well, we didn't even know it was Danny who was doing it, but like the fires and the shed all the destruction and the graffiti and
Mhm.
different and the killing of the cat, all of that stuff was 75 because that's because it was corroborated with Poppy's diary entries and some of her reels.
Which makes me think, like, that's when it boiled over. This man moved next
Hmm.
door.
Well, you think about it, March. So he probably March is what, third month in. So yeah, he probably was doing something the prior year.
Yeah, so I'm looking back. So we go back to March 8th, April 26th, May 2nd, May 6th, May 8th, May 10th, and they died in May,
Hmm.
June, like right before
June
June.
13th. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like as we got closer, we were leading in. So probably Danny was escalating a little bit as they got closer to the end of the school year
Mm-hmm.
after that fool moved next door. you
Yeah.
know?
Having these parties. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's crazy. But that guy, at the end of the book, turns out he was prolific.
Yeah.
Decades he was messing around with students, and it came out. People started telling after once someone opens the door.
Yeah, the
other
floodgates.
people come out.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's wild. And that's like, if only he could have. And Poppy was trying to get him to tell. She's like, you need to tell.
Mhm.
I'm going to fucking tell if you don't
Yeah,
tell.
and when she said that, I was like, "Ooh, yes, it's
Yeah.
confirmed." But
And
I got a question for you though,
yeah.
because you said soon as Poppy recorded or caught Danny on that reel and she was like, "Oh, he's gonna kill me, he's gonna kill me." Now, did you like I knew Lydia had what Lydia had done early on in the book. Did you know that or are you just saying about the teacher?
No, you mean no, I knew something was wrong with her. You
Okay.
mean that she was pregnant?
No, that she killed.
Oh, okay. So no, I did not suspect that, but
Yeah.
I knew something was off when she went to her mom's door and she showed up there. I was like, "Hold on, something
Oh, see, I knew like in
is
chapter
amiss."
14.
So
And
you
this
knew
is
she killed
I knew she
Danny?
killed Danny.
So the
I
minute
wasn't sure she killed both of them. At first I was like cuz I wrote it down. I'm like chapter
yeah.
14, did Lydia kill them?
Okay, so
And reason
chapter 14
I think
was
that was Poppy's chapter.
no, it was sandwiched between Poppy. So
Okay.
Poppy did May 6th and then 14 and then Poppy May 8th and then 15. So it was
Okay.
sandwiched between two of her inserts.
Okay. So there was a comment that a reporter or something asked Lydia, Olivia's mom, why would you let
Oh,
your
yep.
child live with a murderer? And she said, I would never, or something like, or a person like that. And she's like, I would never let my child live with a murderer. And it hit me right then and there. That's why she left. Because she could not, her conscience could not allow her to raise a child knowing she killed someone. And then the dad had mentioned trauma bonding. And I'm like
Yeah, there it
and
is.
I'm
There it
like,
is.
yes, and I'm like,
There it is.
granted they were friends, but how much trauma did Lydia actually have in the death of Vincent's sister and brother?
See, at
And
the very least, at that point, at the very least, I was like, she was there and saw it. I thought
mhm.
at the very least, she was there and saw it. And
Yeah,
that would bond them together because she
right.
knew what happened.
Yeah, because he's like, that maybe we shouldn't have got married. You know what they call that trauma bonding. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah. And I was like, I think she killed. But at that point, I thought she killed both of them. But I'm like, she had something to do with it because that's why, like, why would a mother leave like that? And then for the dad to still love her unconditionally like that. And then the more we kept hearing, like, that was his password, Rebecca, whatever the mother's name was, his password for his email, and then come to find out he was still paying her rent, and I was just like, ooh, yeah,
See, he was honestly obsessed with that woman
oh
from the
yeah,
beginning. He was obsessed
yeah,
with her.
hmm
Uh, yeah, yeah, the it was there. It was on the wall. It was right
hmm
there. But I'm
yeah,
like, she at least, and I didn't say she did it, but I did say she at least
was there.
was there and knew what happened. That's immediately what I thought. But I felt like it was the teacher that did it. And both things are true. The teacher did
hmm
something and then she did something.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I eventually started thinking like the teacher did something, but I'm like, Lydia's got something to do with this story, and that dad is protecting her. But
Mhm.
but yeah, but Julie did like that's the thing, like that's what I knew that at the beginning, but I still enjoyed the way she unraveled this story to us. She did
Mhm.
a great job.
Yeah, she did. It was very interesting.
Mm,
Lots of twists, lots of discoveries rather.
mhm. Mhm.
Um yeah, it's very wild how something like that could happen. And it's like when you think about Olivia's like last like I guess explainer, I guess, when she talks about all I had to do is like run outside instead of running into my bedroom. If she ran
Mm,
outside, she'd be alive
right?
because there was all those people outside.
Mm.
Run outside. If someone comes into your house and threatens you, run outside.
Yeah.
Don't run to your bedroom. Lesson to everyone. Run outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's crazy. They could all still be alive.
Yeah. Very true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. And it's like she almost felt like seeing her talk beyond the grave was so creepy. And it's like seeing her death from her perspective was like, damn, that
Mm-hmm.
was a lot. That was impactful. She's just kind of like talking about how her body feels as things are happening. And like she sees her brother, she sees her other brother. She can't really talk.
Yeah.
That was
And the
well
narrator did a good
written.
job. Yeah, and the narrator
Yeah.
did a good job with um those last moments of life. Like you could
Yeah.
tell that she was kind of, because she said she could barely breathe.
Yeah.
'Cause she got stabbed in the and oh
And,
yeah,
honestly, that is something also very unique. A lot of these books, we rarely get the victim's point of view. We
rarely.
rarely get that,
Yeah,
especially in the final moments. But to
yeah.
get that, because she had to tell us what happened. She's the only one that could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And when that
So,
came up, I was just like,
mhm.
I was in awe. I was like, what? We get to
Yeah,
see?
I
Yeah.
was riveted in those parts. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
awful."
Yeah, and then to get a second, like the first one, I was like, "Okay," and then to
Mhm,
hear her one more time, I was just like, "Oh my
mhm.
god." Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was
Just
very well done. It
mhm.
was yikes. You're like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah.
It was a good story. It was a good story. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I think she did a great job.
Actually, I think let's take a break. I have a couple more things I wanna bring up.
Yay, good.
Okay.
I want to hear it.
All right. Guys, check out these commercials. By doing that, you are supporting the podcast. When we come back, we'll finish our conversation, we'll rate the book, and we'll share what's next. Okay, welcome back. I want to talk a little bit about Olivia and her personality and how she decided to manage her project with her father.
Okay.
Because honestly, so it's like we knew immediately that obviously she was going to work with her father reluctantly, but she kept that secret for a long time.
Mhm.
And so she kind of had to give it up. But in the midst of that, she's doing stuff like, I'm just going to check this man's emails all the time and respond to other writers. She's ballsy.
Hey, her daddy gave her carte blanche. Just clean that mess up. She's like, okay.
She went in there and started like basically emailing back and forth with the guy who's trying to take her job, who sued her pants off, and she owed a ton of money to this man
Yeah.
for what, libel or something. Like she's
Right.
out there, she went to court and had to pay this man. She was gonna lose her house.
Right. Wasn't it like 500,000 or something?
Yeah,
500,000 or something she owed
a
him? Yeah.
lot of money.
Yeah.
So she sees his email pop up and he's trying to convince her father to swap authors because I can do it better. And she's like, "What the?" She's
She's like, you will not do this to me again.
yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I think it added a little bit of relief to all the seriousness of what was going on. Even though it really didn't I guess it didn't. I guess kind of it did end up something did happening to that guy because ultimately she ended up being caught on the computer and
Hmm.
the father's like, "What are you doing at my desk?"
And the thing is like, but dad, you told me to do
It-
your emails.
yeah. He wasn't happy about it though, and he's like, "I should kill that guy." She like, "What?" He's like, "I'm just saying it. I'm not
Not
gonna
like
do it."
that. Like, I ain't finished this book yet either, Dad.
Look,
Don't say nothing like that.
she side-eyeing her father like, I don't know,
Right.
you
You
might have
still
did it.
suspect number one.
Yeah, so I think that whole sub story with her was interesting. It kept because she didn't have a lot of her own story.
No, no, right. Because all we knew is that she was a little sassy.
Mm-hmm.
But I did think that part did kind of give way to her personality, like you were saying. And then in the end, her dad did mention um, how much she reminded him of Poppy,
Mm-hmm.
because we did hear when he went to Parents Weekend. Oh, you know what? I think that's probably what got me with Alex Finley, Parents Weekend. Remember the dad went for Parents Weekend when she went to boarding school, and
Oh
and if the
yeah.
mom and the teacher was like, "Yeah, she started this club and blah blah blah," and he's like, "That's not what I paid you to go to school for," but
Yeah.
she was very strong willed, and her replying to that email just solidified, yeah, she is strong willed. She tried and she tried. I liked how she typed out the email. Okay, delete. Fuck you. No, let me delete that.
She said, "No, I'm gonna reel it back in. I'm gonna reel it
Yeah.
in."
And she's like, and then she checked it in 5 minutes. Okay, no. Oh, he still ain't replied. Okay. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it did. It gave her, it made her more, it gave her that person, like the personable feel to
Right.
her, because at one point it was just like, I'm just a ghostwriter. This is what I do. I just listen to the story. But it also told us too that she will dig deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, she did a lot of things, like, her father in one of his episodes mentions where the knife was hidden. So she's like, "I'm gonna go try to find that damn knife." So she goes and breaks into the old house, not even knowing if who owns the house. So she needed some present day storyline to keep things interesting, because her character would have been quite dull without it. So the author managed to give some balance to that, which was good,
Right.
while also still working toward the reveal, right? So,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Because for the reader, we kind of saw her only as the only living child of Vincent Taylor. And it was still in a childlike manner, as like, um, now that you bring that up, we see her as an adult, but in our minds, I think we did still kind of see her as that child. And she was trying to let go of that image. But in her mind, she didn't want people to know who she
Mm.
was, even though, like she married the one guy to kind of take his name, basically, French, citizenship.
Mhm.
But yeah, she was trying to let go of that persona, or that namesake. So yeah, that providing those little bits of pieces did, add an extra layer for us.
Yeah, she
I agree.
totally what's crazy is, I think, had, you know, Vincent told his daughter as an adult, this they worked together, and they would have worked together before, I think she would have understood. Here's our family story. I feel
Mhm.
like she would have understood. But why would you want your daughter to think you're a murderer? Like, okay, I understand him not giving, a care about the world at large, right? Whatever. It helps me sell books. I don't care. I'm amassing a fortune as a writer.
Mhm. Mhm.
But your daughter pulls away, you send her away, and then she keeps pulling away, and you're okay with it? That part kind of seemed odd to me.
But he was an alcoholic and a drug addict too. I
He
think
was
that
for a
was,
while.
and I think that was the one piece, which was a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was, but that's a long time. He's older now. Like, she was not like, how old was she? Do we know? I want to.
No,
If I had to guess, I would say she was in her early 30s
for,
at the time that she did his
yeah,
book.
probably because it was 75, and I'm believing something may have revealed, because there was a podcast, so I'm thinking it's
Well,
got to
let's look
be
at it
early
this way. I
2020s.
know what year I was born,
Okay.
and it's not 75. I'll tell you how that. But we know that her mother had that procedure in 75. So they
Hmm.
eventually got married and got pregnant again. So let's say she was born in 78. The
Okay.
present day is 24 and 25, like
Yeah.
2024 and 25. I'm in my 40s.
Okay. Yeah.
So even if she was born in like late 70s, early 80s, she'd still be over 40 years old.
Yeah. Well, you know
So,
what? Her dad, when the reporter found her dad, he was like 23 and working at that grocery store. And he was, y'all remember that part? He was
mm,
working at the grocery store part time while he got his writing career off the ground. And that's when the mother was interviewed and said, I would never let my daughter live with.
okay.
And I think Olivia had to be about 4 or 5 then. So yeah, you're right. She's got to be at least 30 or 40 something.
Yeah, she's either mid to late 30s or
Early
at the
40s.
oldest, like 40 or 41 or
Mm-hmm.
something.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about how old I was thinking. But when you got two stubborn people
Mm-hmm.
and years of alcohol, drugs, and then he got sick and
He only wanted to reveal that to get the story told at the end of his life.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm losing my mind. Let's hurry up and get this done
Right. Well,
while I can still tell it.
yeah.
And he really had a twofold for that because he did need her help getting the story told in a way that protected Lydia still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Olivia had a good, a big task to do. You had to tell
Oof.
this story,
Yeah.
point a
And he
finger.
knew, and he said, I knew she could do it. He's like, I
Mm-hmm.
knew you could do it. That's why we played these scavenger, those games,
Mm-hmm.
and like he knew, even though he told her not to interview people he knew she was going to do it. He knew she was stubborn and strong willed. He knew she was going to do it.
Yeah, but she
You
got a
know,
way around it, right? She said, "Let me look at the contract again."
Well, right. Cause remember he said, I knew you'd find her reels. I knew you would find them.
Yeah. So when she went around asking questions, she said, "Hey, I'm Vince's daughter. Remember, she didn't mention her new last name at all. She didn't mention the book at all.
Nope.
She was just there as family trying to figure out what the heck happened."
Yeah, because that's what Tom told her. Like, when
Yeah.
she said, how can I live up to my agreement without compromising it? I can't remember her exact terms. And that's when she was like, I figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And Tom's like, "Don't talk to me."
Oh, don't. I know. I was waiting for you to say something. You was like, weak ass Tom.
Yeah. Tom, get out of here. You're whack. I'm
Oh,
sorry. But
gosh.
I mean, I hope she got her happily ever after with him. It seemed like it was good at the end with them. She invited him to the family home before it was no longer hers,
Right.
the house she grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think yeah, it was well done from beginning to end. I don't know how I could have improved it.
I know. Like I said, the pacing, but I think like after we discussed it, I believe the pacing had to be done in that manner,
Mhm.
just because of the reveals and the research and the illness and um, yeah,
Mhm.
because I mean there were moments where he couldn't talk to her. He'd lose it. He thought she was Lydia.
Yeah, she
Hmm.
looks like her mom, acts like her aunt.
Right.
He's getting all kinda in his feelings about it, like
Right. And then you name them
yeah.
Olivia and Lydia. So yeah, I was like, okay, I get it. I get it, Julie. I see what you did there.
That's
Yeah.
crazy that Vince and Lydia kept the murder weapon for so long. They kept it, and then Lydia finally just got rid of it, and, Olivia's very smart. She's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna ask that question. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to." She like, "I don't care."
Mm-mm. Nope. 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 Nope.
It does not matter at this point
Mm-mm.
anyway. This man's going to jail for the crimes that he has committed.
Committed. Yep. That's all we care about.
Yeah. He won't
Um,
get, and there is no justice, I guess, for her aunt and uncle in that way, but it doesn't even matter at this point. She's like, it doesn't matter.
mm-mm. No. The truth has been revealed. That's all that,
Mm-hmm.
at this point. Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Ugh.
telling you, it was very sneaky how they pointed the finger at somebody in a book, in a memoir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Mm.
I was like, nice done. Like, how did that story come up? How did
You
you
know,
come up with this story?
and
Yeah.
honestly, I liked it even more after we talked about it.
I know. I know. She did. Yeah.
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 And the narrators were great. Like at first I didn't even realize there were 3. I knew there
I
were
didn't either.
2, but I didn't
Yeah.
realize there were 3.
I didn't either until you mentioned it at the beginning
Mhm.
because I was like, really?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
what, one male and 2 women, right?
Right. Yep, because I actually liked getting didn't we get a chapter from Vince as a child? Yeah, we got 2. We got 2 from Vincent as a child in
Mhm.
75, which we needed also.
Mhm.
I kinda wish we had one from Danny, but we didn't get one.
Yeah.
It'd have been nice to know what was going on in his head a little bit, from his point of view anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah, those boys, they did not like each other.
No.
They did not get along.
Yeah, I was trying to, like, even think why, but I mean, it's the sibling rivalry.
They were
Um,
Irish twins, they were really close in age,
mhm.
and sometimes that's enough to make
Yeah,
conflict.
and one was handsome and one was geeky or
Everyone loves
gawky.
Danny.
Mhm. So,
All the
I mean,
girls want Danny.
yep, yep. And then you have Danny who's saying, "She only wanted you because I rejected her." That right there will cause sibling rivalry alone, especially with 2 young boys, hormones crazy. Um, so yeah.
And I also really liked at the end how Vincent, after kind of discovering more truths with the reels and things, he like admitted like it's going to take a minute for me to reset how I think about my brother. Yes, my brother
Mhm.
attacked my girlfriend, but also he was
Right.
abused. And it's like
Yeah,
2 wrongs don't make a right, but you got to wonder, does him being molested by that man inform how he felt it was okay to attack Lydia?
right. Yeah,
It's
I
like he's got
agree.
to think of it kind of differently now.
Mhm. Or, like, was he trying to assert that I am a man, I like women, you know? The opposite. Like, here I have this I've been raped or I've been, molested or whatever, and now I have to, make sure everybody knows I'm manly. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, you have
Yeah, it could
to
have been some of that
rewire
too.
in that forgiveness.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, and being able to forgive your brother.
Well, I think it's okay that he not want to forgive him for that part of it, but to also embrace that he was having a hard time because of other things. So it's a really interesting duology of things. Like how do you wrap your head around that? Maybe not hate him as much as you did before.
I think Julie did a great job being able to tell, the as you said, the duology of the sadness of the 2 brothers, um, being able well, not I won't say the 2 brothers being able to forgive, but Vincent dealing with, learning what happened to his brother, even in death, because at first he just felt like his brother was a cruel, mean brother who raped his sister and impregnated her, but realizing that he was also a victim, it brought that softness to the story and the trauma that everyone felt in this story. So I applaud her
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. Same. I just wish they had, again, but it's the 70s. No one gets therapy in the
Mm-mm.
70s. But I kind of wish that Lydia would have been able to like push past that somehow. Like you just leave your daughter. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I wish there was a little more to that. Yes, that was tough for her as well. She did something horrific,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, thinking that her boyfriend and his sister were murdered
Yeah.
by him. So
Yeah. And they were
she
young. I mean,
they were
they
young.
married young. They had a baby young. So they probably thought their love and
They
being
had
together was
trauma.
going to solve everything, and she just could not
And it
deal.
didn't.
Yeah.
She couldn't, he couldn't. They both had a lot of trauma.
Mhm.
They both need to be in therapy. But I mean, you can't go to therapy and say, "Hey, I killed someone, but
Right?
I'm trying to work through
Right.
it."
That therapist got to tell
I think
ASAP.
no, yeah, she'd be calling the cops on
Hmm.
you. So I don't know.
Right.
I guess
This
that's
is
just the
not a
best they gonna
confessional
get.
like with your priest. That therapist is
Yeah.
like, oh, sure.
Hmm.
You what? Okay, 911.
Yeah. My client here, my patient,
Hmm.
broke the law.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I guess we should rate it.
Yes. Ooh, like, man.
Okay, I know what my
I,
rating is.
ugh, what you got?
I'm gonna give it a
Yeah.
4. I had a really good time talking about that book, and the more and more I think about it, I was probably like, if we did halves, which we don't, it probably would have been a 3.5, but um I'm going to give it the boost because the discussion was really
Yeah.
good, and thinking about the skill she needed to kind of weave it how she
Yeah.
did.
I
Yeah.
agree
4.
and that was my rating. Because at first I was like that. "Oh, okay," because I mean it lulled it a bit, but when that ending and how she did that with Poppy's story and those twists and turns, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the story. So I give it a 4 too. Yay.
Awesome. Is this our first 4 of the year? Is it my first 4 of the year for the buddy read?
Maybe.
Mm,
It it might be
feels
my
like it.
first. I know I was tough this year on a few. So yeah.
Halfway through the year, and here we are. We got
I'm gonna have to look
some 4.
right. Yeah.
Well, this is definitely our first joint
4. Yes,
4,
definitely.
if nothing else.
But yeah, this was I
Yeah.
enjoyed, but we liked her other book too. So, but yeah, she did a superb job with this one.
Yeah, this book was very, very different from her last book.
Yeah.
And I think I like that it was so different, because now I can see that she's got some other chops
She's got
going on, and I
range.
know yeah, I definitely will read more from her, I
Yeah.
think.
And I did like you were saying too, I do like that this was different because when they write this something so similar, you just like, oh, I know what to expect. Oh, I know what to expect.
Mhm.
Because you just kind of like, oh, this is her mo. Mm-mm,
Mhm.
mm-mm, not at all.
I still want a second part to her other book, though.
Oh, the lies.
Because
Yeah, that.
the lies that I
Yeah,
tell, I still feel like she can write a second part to that,
that
because
boyfriend.
the torch was
Mm-hmm.
passed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't. She left us hanging.
Yeah, and I still want to read The Last Flight from her. That was her most popular book in 2020.
Oh,
That one has over 250,000
I didn't
ratings,
even know
and
she.
The Lies I Tell only has 90,000 ratings. So
Last flight.
looks like she looks like she got on the radar with that one.
Hmm.
So I definitely want to read that one on my own.
I.
Or maybe we can do a one-off for our Patreon people.
Yeah, the last
If you
flight. Okay,
Yeah.
to look it up.
Yeah, look at those ratings. So over 250,000 ratings with a 4.1.
Wow.
That is very, very
Okay, I
good.
have to read the synopsis on that and see.
So I'm definitely going to read that, and whatever else she puts out, we'll see.
Yeah, I like her. I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay. So next up for August, I am pleased to announce we are reading King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby.
Yay.
Yay. And Trinette on Patreon recommended this one, and it was also on our list as well. So
Yay,
another
Trinette.
reason to join Patreon. You guys can give us your 2 cents, and we might do it.
Yeah, right.
um,
We
yeah.
did one last year too.
So
So
I'm
yeah,
excited.
it is
Yeah.
exciting to read the book that Patreon people, our subscribers pick. So mhm.
Yeah.
'Cause it
I'm excited. This should be good.
yes. Because I think they picked
Yeah.
another one. Was it the Mars book? Is that the one they picked for us last year or this year? No, I can't
I
remember.
don't
Okay,
remember.
I digress.
I don't remember. So don't let me misspeak, because I
Yes,
don't know
let's
it.
not.
And S.A. Cosby, he's been making the rounds on the intranet.
Mhm.
The internet, I've been seeing him on like news channels and stuff. He's definitely getting his
Shine on.
PR
Yes,
on
yes.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a girlfriend who told me, she's like, I stopped work so I could finish this book because she's like, I just got so distracted. I needed to know how this book was going to end. And he did not
Wow.
disappoint.
Okay, so we are back to this is crime fiction. He is writing crime fiction in the
Hmm.
South.
Yes, Southern Noir.
And yeah, so this should be really good, I think. I expect nothing less. I mean, I think we've had a really good time with the books we've read from
Hmm.
him. So,
Yeah, if nothing, right. Good
and he's
discussions.
gotten
Oh,
better
gosh.
too
Yeah.
over the years. He's gotten
Yeah.
better.
Good
So,
discussions. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
yeah, so if you're curious about that book, get your purchase on or get it from your library so you can listen to us next time
Yeah.
and
Better get it
you'll know what we're
early
talking about.
because it's a big
Yeah, get it
hold.
early.
So, yeah.
Mm.
Yay.
Yeah, I just bought it. I'm like, forget the hold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my friend got me a signed copy, so I was like, "Yay, thank you, friend."
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I saw my politics and prose, and he got me a signed hardcover. So I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So I think that's it for today.
Okay.
It's been a really fun conversation. We hope you enjoyed it. We appreciate you for listening to us for the entire hour. And we'll catch you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye, guys. Did you enjoy today's episode? If so, please head over to Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave a positive 5-star review. It's a simple action that makes a big difference. You can also like this episode on your favorite podcast player or share it with your fellow bookworm friends on social media. Joining the Shelf Addiction Patreon family is another way to support us. For as little as $2 a month, you can help our team create even more amazing bookish content. If Patreon isn't your thing, consider becoming a supporter on the Spreaker app for just $5 a month and gain access to exclusive audio-only content. You can find me everywhere, including Instagram, X, and TikTok under the handle Shelf Addiction. Join our book club of the same name on the book club's website and app, where we discuss all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. Thanks for tuning in.